I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update for Friday, May the 17th, 2013. A letter from a bipartisan group of U.S. congressmen are calling on Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas to remove one of his Fatah officials from office. Democratic Representatives Eliot Engel and Nita Lowey of New York, Brad Sherman of California, and Ted Deutsch of Florida, and Republican Ed Royce of California sent the letter to Abbas condemning the remarks of Fatah official Sultan Abu al-Ainain, who expressed his open support for the murderer of Eviatar Borovsky. Borovsky is the 31-year-old Israeli father of 5 who was murdered last month in the West Bank by a Palestinian assailant. Al-Ainain had praised Borovsky's murderer, calling him a, quote, heroic fighter. The congressman told Abbas in the letter that allowing this type of incitement and hate-mongering to take place within your ranks is intolerable if you are truly dedicated to nonviolence. We ask that you publicly and officially denounce and condemn Mr. Al-Ainain's remarks at once and remove him from his position in your government. An Italian court sentenced a 22-year-old Moroccan man to more than 5 years in prison for planning terrorist attacks against Milan's main synagogue and Jewish school. Mohammed Jarmoun, who was born in Morocco but grew up in Italy, was sentenced yesterday by a court in Brescia to 5 years and 4 months. Jarmoun was arrested in March of last year after investigators found documents on his computer analyzing the security measures of Milan's main synagogue. He was also suspected of planning attacks and organizing terrorist groups through internet social network sites. Earlier this week, Shalom TV President Mark S. Golub spoke with Lori Lowenthal Marcus, the founding president of a Jewish organization called ZStreet, who claimed that the IRS had frozen the organization's application for nonprofit 501c3 status. In its lawsuit filed against the IRS, ZStreet contends that an IRS agent actually told the group that it was under special review because it was involved with Israel, and that the IRS was reviewing ZStreet to see if its positions were in opposition to those of the Obama administration. In the wake of the recent IRS admissions of inappropriate and perhaps illegal activities in which it targeted conservative organizations, causing acting IRS Director Steve Miller to resign earlier this week, ZStreet's experience and complaint seemed to fit the IRS pattern of behavior. In yesterday's Jerusalem Post, there was a story claiming that the Treasury Inspector General's report published this week shows no indication that any pro-Israel group was targeted by the IRS. When asked to comment on the Jerusalem Post story, Lowenthal Marcus told Shalom TV that ZStreet's lawsuit predated the congressional inquiries and that the initial congressional mandate only directed the Treasury Department to look into the targeting of conservative groups. However, ZStreet has now informed the House Ways and Means Committee about their lawsuit, which found ZStreet's claims have merit. And now the IRS has been put on notice that it must provide information to Congress about whether the IRS similarly targeted organizations whose missions focus on Israel. Shalom TV will continue to cover this story, and will see whether the Treasury Department's Inspector General finds any evidence that the IRS did in fact target pro-Israel groups. The American Jewish Committee announced that Israel's Justice Minister Tzipi Livni will now be joining the list of distinguished speakers at their upcoming Global Forum 2013, which takes place June the 2nd through the 4th. The AJC Forum is described as the global Jewish advocacy event of the year. It includes training and study sessions with AJC experts, dinners with ambassadors and policymakers, meetings with members of Congress and faith leaders, and networking with Jews from all over the world. And finally, today, the Israel Land Administration Council is said to be approving a 210-acre site along the Mediterranean for sale next month. And its new owner may very well be Donald Trump. This according to a report from Israel Business and Financial Daily Globes, who cited sources saying that Trump is interested in building an 18-hole golf resort on the site, which is in the coastal city of Ashkelon. The resort would also include hotel units, a convention hall, and a country club. Representatives from the Trump organizations reportedly visited the site a few months ago, after which Mr. Trump sent a letter to the mayor of Ashkelon saying he was excited about plans to build a world-class golf center at the site. Trump wrote, "I have great affection for Israel and its people, and I believe that Israel is a worthy place to be included in the list of communities which host Trump golf centers." And that's Shalom TV's news update for Friday, May the 17th, 2013. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.